Cherry Mobile, probably the most famous, well-received, hated brand out there in the Philippine market. They have released tons of smartphones including Cherry Mobile Titan, Omega lineup, the Cosmos lineup, and probably the one that started it all, the Flare lineup. After releasing hundreds of Android smartphones out there in the market, Cherry Mobile has finally released its first Windows phone. And it is Cherry Mobile Alpha Luxe. What does Alpha Luxe have in store for you guys? Stay tuned and find out. Alpha Luxe is a 5-inch phone protected by Dragon Trail glass, enclosed in plastic. The device painstakingly looks similar to most if not all Cherry Mobile phone out there in the market. It looks like Cosmos Z, its last year flagship. It is also covered in glossy plastics which attract fingerprints like Daniel Matsunaga's abs attract girls. Alpha Luxe sports a 5-inch HD 720p display. The display feels just about right for the Luxe, as its deep black technology makes the colors much more vibrant. Icons look sharp and text look crisp. Another thing to give point is its viewing angles. Viewing angles are quite good, as tilting the device shows little to no annoying changes, and it is still pretty visible even in sunlight. It may only have 3 modes of brightness, but its highest is just right. Not too bright, not too dim. Functioning as your daily multimedia driver, Alpha Luxe is average at best. Loudspeaker is fine. Plug in your headsets, Alpha Luxe is definitely one of the loudest performers out there. I'm not kidding you, it's deafeningly loud. It has okay sound quality, but distortions come up the louder you play your music. I do have to point out that the stock music player has bad codec as it can't play FLAC files out of the box. Sporting a 720p display, Alpha Luxe can play HD to Full HD videos. You have to know that the codec out of the box is extremely disappointing as it cannot detect some of your movie files. It can play MP4 files though. It had trouble playing Full HD 1080p display of higher file sizes. I have not tried using third-party apps as I am yet to find a reliable and free video player. As for gaming, let's just say at the price point, it's okay. Angry Bird Epic plays fine, but Metal Slug's control is sluggish, pun intended. Asphalt 8 is playable at best, albeit the long loading times and lags. Everyone hates Internet Explorer. Alpha Luxe, being a Windows phone, carries IE, so that may be an indication of what's in store for you out of the box. For those looking for Chrome or Mozilla, look elsewhere. There's also no YouTube app, so IE again is your haven. As far as YouTube and streaming is on IE, it can get your tasks done, but can be a lot better with installation of another browser. Xiaomi has been making a big name for itself during the past months. After the flash sale of Mi 3, which was a huge success, they released power banks which were said to sell out in seconds. Now they gather at the cheaper market and release what's looking out to be another star for budget consumers, the Xiaomi Redmi. Camera and compromise are partners in crime to Cherry Mobile. Fortunately for the Alpha Luxe, images are decent on good lighting conditions. It saturates images but not too much. Low light is not that good, but it's kind of passable. Camera settings are not gimmicky and it's just basic. The front has 2MP camera and the back has an 8MP shooter. You can check out the pics right here. Alpha Luxe is packed with 1.2 GHz quad-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 200 processor and an Adreno 302 GPU and 1 GB of RAM. It has 8 GB of internal storage expandable up to 32 GB. Alpha Luxe runs Windows 8.1 OS and is probably the biggest factor to consider when buying the Luxe. This is my first Windows phone and I can say I am very impressed with its responsiveness and simplicity. It has a no gimmick, no shit approach. Probably one of the best features of Windows Phone is Cortana. You can see a demo video right here. Who is your father?
Technically speaking, that'd be Bill Gates. No big deal.
Tell me a joke.
Who's the roundest knight at King Arthur's court? Circumference.
Tell me another joke.
How about a comparison? What's the difference between ignorance and apathy? I don't know, and I don't care.
Using it as a phone, call quality on both receiver and transmitter is fine. The keyboard is okay as it learns your words provided you register it one by one. One thing to point out, Microsoft has easier integration to Microsoft Office like Link and Outlook for business-minded people out there. As far as actual performance go, despite carrying a relatively old hardware, Alpha Luxe is buttery smooth, seamless, responsive, and fluid. Android and Cherry is probably one of the worst possible combination for battery life, period. As for Windows, Alpha Luxe sports a 2000 mAh battery and it can pretty much last you throughout the day. As for me, it was able to last me 1.5 days before reaching 10%. This may be due to my relatively low usage. Quite good, honestly. Straight up, Alpha Luxe is not something to buy impulsively unless you have tons of cash to spend. I actually did not enjoy it on my first 2 days, but as I began to do some reading, I found out that I may not be one of Microsoft's target audience. Cherry Mobile has done a great job in leaping into the Windows market. I'm not sure if this is the first rebranded one, but it's the only one I know. Alpha Luxe breathes a new leash of life to Cherry as continuous release of Android smartphone indubitably saturates the market. If you are looking for a good start for a Windows phone, be sure to check out Luxe's faults first before jumping the wagon. If the bad passes, it is one of the fastest, loudest phone out there. This has been Norman 3000 of YouTube, signing off.